Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about karambit style knives, what they're good for, and if you should get one or not. On the table here, I have quite a few different varieties of karambit style knives. You have full tang ones that will sit on your belt, fixed style. I got a Hibben Knives one right here, and some, I'm going to be honest, bullshit stainless steel Chinese one that I got when I was younger because, it just looks fucking wicked. Definitely needs to be clean. It's been sitting down here in storage for God knows how long, but I thought I'd bring it out for at least this video. Then you got a Spyderco original karambit, VG10 steel from Seki City, 1990s production run. Then you have the Feather by Microtech, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is a Bastinelli collaboration. Um, and I almost didn't put this in there because it's a karambit, but it's not a karambit. It doesn't have the same profile as all the other ones, but it's worth the mention in there during this video. I have this small little HRT Smith & Wesson, which, again, is it a karambit or is it more of a hawkbill blade that kind of fits the same parameters? It's got the ring like a karambit, but not in its traditional spot. I thought I'd just bring it out here as well for this video. And then I have the Boker Plus Wildcat, um, which I have a whole another video and a whole other short about it. I do really enjoy this knife. I did talk about some deployment issues that I thought this knife had, but after handling it for some time, I have actually figured out a good deployment method for this knife. And besides its traditional flipper here, and we will talk about that here shortly. So without further ado, I'm going to switch over the view we got here, and I'll show some ways we can deploy some of these blades, and we'll go from there. Okay, now that we've been talking about it, your fixed blade for karambit styles are going to be very reliable in a self-defense just because it's a fixed blade. Most fixed blades are reliable because of how strong they are. That's why we use them. You don't have to worry about them folding up on your fingers. They are what they are. They are one piece, and it's going to get the job done until they break or they're just done, right? Like I said before, this little guy right here is not little. It's actually quite ginormous, and I got it when I was younger just because I thought the style of this was very wicked looking. Something you'd like see in a video game. It is very hefty. With this is an unrealistic application. Unless you're living in the zombie apocalypse, you are not going to use this in a day-to-day, really in a self-defense, unless it's the only thing in arm's reach. This is, hey, I'm going to collect it. I'm going to buy it. It's kind of cool. It's going to sit on a shelf, or for my case, it's been sitting down in, my storage area. So we won't talk too much on this. My Hibben Knives fixed blade, though, is useful. I think that over time, its sheath that it originally came with is kind of useless because a sheath is supposed to do one thing. That is supposed to, one, protect the blade, and two, keep the blade inside. It's got that little button right here, a little snap button, but as you can see, I could just pull that out. So if I'm in a fight and I haven't gotten to get to my self-defense weapon and I'm rolling around or whatever, it could fall out. Someone else could grab it out. That was not very hard and not a lot of force for me to get that out. So I would like to, I don't know, maybe get like a custom sheath, Kydex or something from somebody. I have always liked this knife. This is one of the knives when I was younger that got me into collecting knives and loving knives in general. It feels great in the hand. And when it came down to it, if I really needed to, self-defense wise, this is great. This isn't going to come out of my hand. It's going to do exactly what I need, which is just slice, get away, do it, whatever it needs to be done. So it is a nice little knife there, and I do enjoy it. But over time, this little leather sheath that it came with, it needs a new one. Folders that are karambit style. Folders that are karambit style are great. Now, if I have any mess ups with deployment and stuff like that, pardon me, I am in loungewear. I am in hoodie and sweats. So I don't have my belt on. I don't have regular pants on. Deploying a knife might be a little bit difficult. We'll put that bad boy over there. But the idea with it is that it's a pocket knife, so it can sit in your pocket. And let's move this camera, shall we? And right here, you got the ring. So the idea is that you can pull the ring out, deploy, and then, go to work. For me personally, this isn't my blade. I would change where the pocket clip is on this. Just because when I'm putting it in here, it's showing it backwards, and so when I go to grab it, the blade is blocked by my hand. I can't flick it out. I would put the pocket clip on this side, still the same direction where the tip is down, but that way if I had it, it would be sitting like this, and I'd be able to pull it out, deploy a lot faster, because those seconds matter in a self-defense scenario where you need to slice and dice, back the fuck up, right? This is the Spyderco Karambit, made in the 90s, steels from Seki City, Japan. It is, Warren Thomas design. It's a nice little knife. I really enjoy it. Continuing on with folders, we had that Boker Plus Wildcat that I was mentioning to you, and I did have a review video on this, and I did talk about self-defense situations with this knife, and I was a little bummed out about it, because in my mind, you have this flipper blade, and that's great. The action on it is really, really nice, linear lock, and it comes out just butter smooth. But in my thought process was, hey, it's in my pocket, right? I'm going to pull the ring out, and then what am I going to try to flick it out with my finger? I mean, yeah, but like we talked about, every second counts. So that makes no sense to me. As I've been messing around with it for a little bit longer, and as I have had my hands on it, I have realized the faster deployment method. So if it is sitting in your pocket, you would pull it out and then bring it back across your leg. So that little thumb flipper that is there will brush up on your leg as you push down. Kind of like when you do those Zippo tricks and you're trying to light the Zippo with your leg. Same idea. So when it hits your leg, it's going to pull that out. So again, all seconds count, quick deployment, right? Now we can go to work and then get away from work. That's the whole idea with this. The whole idea with this karambit style, push blade style, things like that is I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to hurt you enough to where you stop hurting me and you back up so I can get my family to safety, myself to safety. If I'm on the job, I can, go to a different tool, whatever needs to be. But yeah, because before when I was playing with it, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to pull it out of my pocket, turn it around, hit the flipper, and then turn it around again? Like, what is this, a movie? Sitting here fucking flinging around Bali songs until the guy comes and throws a punch? Real life doesn't work like that. So, playing around with it, figured it out. And if you want a closer up view, I can do that. Let's move the camera. So, again, I apologize. I'm wearing sweats. But we're going to do it slow motion. We're going to pull the blade out and then slide it across my leg in a faster motion that would come all the way out. And then it's ready to go. So that was slow. Fast. Right? So finishing up with folders now. We'll talk about the two that I saw should be in this video because they're kind of like karambits, but also not. We'll leave the Microtech for last because I love Microtech and I think we should always leave the best for last. Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson gets a lot of hate when they're making knives, which I understand. They are a gun company. Most people will say, hey, stick to guns. I bought this little HRT way back. Don't even remember from where. Don't remember how much it was. I just said, hey, that looks wicked. It's got full serration. It's got a place to put my finger. It's a nice little self-defense knife, my younger mindset. The problem is this comes with this little sheath. This sheath did not come with a belt clip. And then it's got this thumb print, right? It's a movable piece on the sheath. And that's supposed to, if I guess someone's trying to take it, you can push down on it and that blade's not going to come out. I guess. I don't. If someone else knows the reason for that, besides that, let me know. But that seems kind of pointless to me. All in all, I'd probably use it as a necklace knife. Hold it this way, pull it out. The finger ring is not accessible from the outside of the sheath, so you're going to try and grasp it and then afterwards put your finger in it so you don't lose your blade, I guess is a good reason for it. Maybe if you're a fisherman and you're trying to cut rope on the boat, don't want to lose your blade. It's got that nice hawk bill. But I thought it was a fun little one to share for the video. Moving on though, like I said, best for last, because I love Microtech, is the Microtech Feather. Microtech Feather's sheath comes with a ulti clip, right? So you pull that out, slip that in anywhere. You can do it in the pocket, which I always thought was really cool because the whole sheath goes in your pocket. You clip that down. I'm going to move the camera. And the only thing showing is the ring. And then you just pull out the ring. Now, with that being said, this Kydex sheet that it comes in has great retention on it. You have to really pull to get that knife out. Now, the reason I said that it's kind of a karambit, kind of not, is it's got your traditional finger hole there on the end, and then a nice place to put all your fingers, and it's got the little blade. But it doesn't have such a crazy curve in the blade that I'm like, yeah, that's for sure a karambit. I mean, the name of it is the Feather, which suits it very well because it looks like a little feather. It is very sharp straight out of the box and will get the job done. And a self-defense scenario, weapon retention scenario, we've talked about that before. If you haven't seen that video, go there and check that out. Definitely one of my favorite knives. We talked about it. Is a karambit style knife a good knife to have? It's a big debate anywhere you go. When you're on Reddit, when you're on forums, some people will say, oh, karambit's the biggest mall ninja knife thing there is. Karambits are not very good self-defense weapons. And then you have others that are saying it's a great self-defense weapon. Not only that, though, but you can use it for multiple other things. You can carry it as an EDC and cut everything else you needed to. There's no reason why I couldn't cut a rope with this, a box with this, anything, right? It's still going to slice it. I mean, and honestly, it might be a little bit easier. You have a package and you click it into that little tape right there and slide it along. You got a rope, it's gonna grasp onto it and pull. There's a big reason why hawkbill knives, which are the same blade style, were so popular among fishermen and pruners and farmers, because it helps them prune. It helps fishermen be able to cut rope and netting and things like that, and you have the grasp on the blade, and it curves and it grasps onto the rope. So when you're pulling it, it's a real easy cut. So as an everyday task knife, it does have its uses. Now, when it comes to self-defense, yeah, I absolutely do believe that it is a great self-defense weapon, or a weapon that you can use to help with, your duty, weapons retention, anything like that, just because of, one, it having that finger ring. We've talked about that before in my other videos, is that being able to have a knife out, do what you need to do, and be able to open your hands with that ring and grab whatever you need to grab without having to drop your blade is very useful. In a situation like that, you don't want to leave your weapon just lying around, because now that other person that you're trying to fend off has easier access to grabbing your weapon and using it against you. So having something to where you can really hold on to it is very important. Now, its whole little hook style, claw style, however you want to look at it, hawkbill style blade, um, is also really good because sure, a stab is great, but I mean, how many times have you seen a video where someone gets stabbed and they're still moving around? It doesn't happen that often with a slash because with a slash, it's a very wide cut instead of a small but deep cut. That's going to stop that person in their tracks if you get them right. I'm not saying, hey, go and use this as your primary fucking weapon in the field. This is a backup piece. This is a latch ditch effort kind of thing. And we've talked about that with bench push daggers as well in some of my videos. It's a good blade to have. So anyone that's saying it's, oh, it's Mall Ninja and stuff like that, you don't know what you're talking about. Because like Doug Marcato would say, it will kill. Thank you for joining. Please like, subscribe, tell all your friends about us, and have a good one.